Hello students, I'm Manmohini Bhatia, English mistress from Government High School, Sherpur Kalan, Ludhiana. Welcome you all to the second part of the teaching of modal verbs. But before we do that, all of you know that we have to revise the models learned in the previous video. So let's first have a quick look at the models that we have learned earlier. So the first model that we learned in the previous video was can, and can is used to express ability, request, permission and possibility. Second model was could, and it is the past tense of can. It is used as the past tense of can, and it is also used to express ability in past time. Then it is used to express request and permission. Next is may. May is used to express permission, possibility, and polite suggestion. And in case of permission, if you remember, may is more formal than can. Next is might. Might is the past tense of may, and it is used to express permission and possibility. And next model that we learned in the previous video is must, and it is used to express obligation, determination and necessity. And last model that we learned was ought to. Ought to is also used to express duty and obligation, but it is not as forceful as must. Now let's come to the models that we are going to discuss in this video, and they are will, shall, would, should, used to, dare and need. All these are also the most commonly used modal verbs in English grammar. Now let's discuss the uses of these modal verbs one by one. So the first model that we are going to discuss in this video is will. And will is used to express beliefs about present and future, willingness, promise, request, and habit. And now we are going to discuss all these points one by one. So the first point is will is used to express beliefs about the present or future. And when we talk about the future, we are not talking about the distant future. We are talking about the immediate future. In other words, will is used to express a decision that you have made. We also use will to talk about what we think will happen in the future. For example, we'll be late or we will have to take the train. Will is also used to express belief about the present time. We are not talking about the present tense. We are talking about the belief in present time. For example, John will be in his office. We are talking about the present time, that at this time, John will be in his office. So, will is used to express beliefs about the present or future. Now, next is will is used to express willingness. Willingness to do something. For example, we'll see you tomorrow. I will lend you some money. So here, will is used to express willingness to do all these actions. Next is will is used to make promises and offers. When you have to make promise, when the people have to make promises or they have to offer something to somebody, they use will. I will try to improve next time. It is definitely a promise. And I will give you a lift home after the party, and it is an offer. So will is used to make promises and offers. Now, the next use of will is to express a request or invitation. Students, we often make requests or invitations with will. Will you accompany me home? Will you like to have a cup of tea? Will you carry this for me, please? So these are requests and invitations that we make with the help of will. Now, next use of will is that it is used to express a characteristic habit, a thing that we do, often do, or we are willing to do. For example, he will tell you anything. It is his habit. He often does this thing. He tells everything to everybody. So he will also tell you anything. And we will get up early every morning. We are willing to do this. So, students, these are the uses of will. So you have learned the uses of will. So we'll move on to our next model, that is would. Would is used to express future in the past tense, or willingness or habit or wish. Now let's discuss these one by one. So would is used to express future in the past. Well, would is simply the past tense form of will. You can say that. We often use would when we report a past conversation. That is, we say what someone said in the past. For example, she told me that he would go, or he said that you would tell a lie. Similarly, when we talk about use of would to express willingness, we are talking about this willingness in the past. I would give up smoking. I would do that for you. Next is would is used to express a habitual activity, and that too in the past. Will is also used to express a habitual activity, but when we have to talk about some habit in the past, we use would. For example, he would take a long walk after meals every day, or she would sit here for hours saying prayers. So these are the habitual activities that used to happen in past. Next is would is used to express a wish. I wish he would stand first. Would that I were rich. Well, next use of would is to make a request. Students, we use both will and would to make requests. The meaning is the same for both, but a request with would is more polite than a request with will. Would you like any tea? Would you like anything else? So, these are the uses of would. Now, let's move on to our activity, that is fill in the blanks with will or would. Students, on the screen, few blanks have been displayed. You have to read these blanks and fill in these blanks with either will or would. I'm giving you some time for doing this, and while you are doing this activity, you have to keep in mind the rules that you have just learned. Read these blanks carefully, think about the use of will and would, present time and past time, and then fill in the blanks. Well, I hope you are ready with your answers. So let's discuss these. First blank is I dash like some coffee, please. It is a polite request. So would. I would like some coffee, please. I didn't expect that she would be there. Again, it is past, reported speech in past tense. So we have used would. I hope we will be able to do it. Next is it will rain tomorrow. We are predicting that it will rain tomorrow. Next is number 5. I will lend you some money. I'm making some promise. I will lend you some money. Next is if I knew that you were in trouble, I dash help you. I would help you. Seventh is I will come if I have time. And last is will you help me with the homework today? Well, it is not a polite request, it is just a simple request, so we have used will. Now, the next model that we are going to talk about is shall. Students, shall is used to express prediction, suggestion, willingness, and declaration. Now, when we talk about use of shall to express a prediction, we say that it is used to express the strong possibility or near certainty of an action which is to take place in the near future. For example, I shall be there by 8. I'm certain that I'll be there by 8. We shall go to school. So, these are the uses of shall, that is to express a prediction. Next is shall is used to express a suggestion. When we have to suggest something, we use shall. Shall we begin dinner? Shall we move into the living room? Well, next use of modal shall is to express willingness. So, shall is used to express willingness to do some action. I shall take care of everything for you. I shall never give up the fight for my rights. Well, will is also used to express willingness, but shall is used in a more formal way. So, shall is used to express willingness also. Now, next is it is used in declarative sentences. For example, Jack shall do it. You shall not betray my trust. So, these are the uses of shall. Students, we use will for all persons, but we often use shall with I and we. Will is generally less formal than shall when used with I and we. Now let's move on to our next model, and that is should. Should is often used to tell others what is their duty or their obligation or what they should do. It is used to give some advice or suggestion or probability. So let's discuss these points one by one. Number one is should is used to express duty or obligation. For example, you should serve your country. We should help the poor. You should take exercise daily. Students, must is also used to express duty or obligation, but must is used when we have to emphasize something or we have to put some force on something. But should is used when we have to recommend something. Now, next use of should is to express purpose or suggestion when we have to suggest something or advise something. Then we use should. Walk fast lest you should miss the train. You should not leave this place so late in the night. So, these are the uses of should. Next use of should is to express something that is probable, that is likely to happen. Rohit should be here by 2 p.m. He should be bringing John with him. So there is some probability that Rohit should be here by 2 p.m. or he should be bringing John with him. Now here comes another exercise. You have to fill in the blanks with shall or should. So read these blanks and fill these blanks either with shall or should. You have some time with you. Read these blanks carefully. Well, students, I hope you are ready with your answers. So let's discuss these answers. Dash we play cards? Shall we play cards? It's a suggestion. She should see a doctor. It is an advice. He should be in the office on Monday at 10 a.m. It is a probability. Next is you should not smoke. Again, an advice. Dash I carry your bag? Shall I carry your bag? We are going to ask for something. You dash drive carefully in bad weather. You should drive carefully in bad weather. You dash follow traffic rules. You should follow traffic rules. Again, suggestions and advices, pieces of advice. Students shall not enter this room. It is a declaration, so we have used shall. I hope these modal verbs will, would, shall, should are now clear to you. Students, besides these most commonly used modal verbs, there are a few more modals that are commonly used. The first one is used to. We use this expression to talk about habits or repeated actions in the past, which we don't do in the present. It is used to express a habit in the past. For example, he used to go out for a walk every morning. I was used to hard work. As a child, she used to love dolls. These habits were there in the past, but now in present, these habits don't exist. So, used to is used to refer to repeated actions or to a state or situation which is no longer true. Well, the next model is dare. Dare is used to express courage, students. Dare means have the courage to do something. And it can behave either as a modal verb or as a main verb. And when we use it as a modal verb, dare is used in negative and interrogative sentences. He dare not oppose me. How dare you insult me? So it is used to express courage. Now, the last modal verb that we are going to discuss in this video is need. Students, need is used to express necessity or obligations, or rather, you can say that it is almost always a negative word, need, and it is used mostly in the negative form to indicate that there is no obligation or necessity to do something. For example, he need not go there again, or she need not worry for her test. So, there is no need, there is no obligation or necessity to do all these things. Well, students, you should keep in mind this thing that these two words, dare and need, they have characteristics of both modal verbs and main verbs. And because of this, they are called semi-modals. They sometimes behave like modal verbs and do not add s to the form that goes with he, she, and it. So students, I hope these three modal verbs are clear to you. Now let's do an activity based on these three modal verbs, and that is choose the correct option for the following. And the first blank is he dash not fear me. And the options are dare, need, and used to. So which is the correct modal verb to be filled in this blank? Think about it. Yes. And the correct answer is he need not fear me. There is no necessity for him to be afraid of me. So he need not fear me. Next blank is do you dash swim across the river? Do you dash swim across the river? And options are A, dare, B, need, and C, used to. So, which should be filled in this blank? Think about it. Do you dash swim across the river? I hope you have got the answer. And the correct answer is do you dare swim across the river? Do you have the courage to swim across the river? Now here comes the third blank on the screen. I dash not stand before him. Yes, I dash not stand before him. And the options are again the same three models: dare, need, or used to, which should be filled in this blank. Think about the situation. Read this blank. Yes, I dash not stand before him. Answer is I dare not stand before him. I don't have the courage to stand before him. I dare not stand before him. Now, last one is coming on your screen now. He dash come at my home to watch the TV. Options are dare, need, or used to. What should be there in the blank? He dash come at my home to watch the TV. Yes, I think you have guessed it correctly. And the answer is he used to come at my home to watch the TV. Yes, a habitual action that used to happen, used to occur in the past. So I hope now these three modal verbs are also clear to you. So I hope students now all these models and their usages are clear to you. Now let's move on to our next activity, which you have to complete with the help of your understanding of the concept of modal verbs. Here on the screen, a few sentences have been displayed, and you have to choose the correct modal in each sentence. Well, each sentence carries two modals, and on the basis of your understanding of the concept of modal verbs, you have to choose the correct modal. So, read the sentences carefully and choose the correct answer. You have some time with you. Take your time. On the basis of your understanding of the concept of models, what you have learned in the previous video as well as in this video, try to think about all those rules and choose the correct option. There are total 10 sentences, and in each sentence you have to choose the correct model. Well, I hope you are ready with your answers. So let's start discussing these. The first one is, will or may you do me a favor? And the correct answer is, will you do me a favor? Next is, the rich should or must help the poor. It is not a compulsion. So, the rich should help the poor. It is just a suggestion or advice or obligation, you can say, but not the forceful obligation. And next is, you should or may come to school in time. Again, a suggestion. So, you should come to school in time. Number 4 is, may or must God bless you. And the correct answer is, may God bless you. It's a benediction, if you remember. Next is, I will or would rather die than beg. So the correct answer is would. I would rather die than beg. Number 6, I can or could speak English when I was only 5. And the answer is could. I could speak English when I was only 5. Number 7, they cannot or ought not to stoop so low. So they ought not to stoop so low. Number 8, my grandfather used to or need go for a morning walk every day in his youth. My grandfather used to go for a morning walk every day in his youth. You may or must keep your promise. you must keep your promise. And the last one is, will or should you stop talking? Will you stop talking? So, these are the correct answers that you have got on the basis of your understanding of models. So, students, we are done with the exercises of modal verbs. Now, let's have a look at the next two slides just for some relaxation and some entertainment. The first one is a conversation between Reena and Seema. Reena, may I borrow your bicycle? Seema, I'm sorry, the bicycle needs to be repaired. Do you know a mechanic in this village to whom I may take the bicycle? Reena, I do not know, but I shall try to find someone who can repair your bicycle. Here comes another slide. An average child can speak clearly by the time he is 3 or 4 years old. Some children at this stage may experience some difficulties. As a caring parent, you can do many things. Read to the child whenever you can. But you should never do this in a tense, loud voice. The child must know that you love him. So, students, that's all for today's topic. I hope you enjoyed this concept of models and you have learned a lot about the uses of models. Thank you so much.